What's up, everybody? This is Sunko, the Korean bro. Today is 2022. Uh, was it May, June, July? July 2nd. Uh, Thursday night. And let's look at the stock market. Okay. Yahoo Finance. Market Beats. China demands U.S. stop trade talks with Taiwan. Mm, as natural gas expands in Gulf, residents fear rising damage. OPEC alliance decides output amid record U.S. pump prices. Boeing charging stock looks to settle down here. Hmm. What to do with Lulu Mall? Not Lulu. Analysts give Natalie's Hall rating on recovery hopes. Cody stock looks attractive down here. Perigo stock is second half expansion play. Blink charging stock looks to settle down here. Don't bet on HP Inc. setting a new high. U.S. markets point higher, oil falls ahead of open meeting. Fewer Americans apply for unemployment benefits last week. As natural gas expands in Gulf, these are the three most upgraded stocks per quarter second. Affirmed stocks has affirmed the bottom. Sonos stocks down cheap down here. Three beaten down stocks insiders are buying. Three outperforming energy stocks with more in the tank. Hmm. Okay, Salesforce.com is up by 9.88%. Hmm. Udemy is down another 8%. Hmm. Investor fears set the table for an echo bubble down the road. Morning brief. Stock futures rise ahead of key employment data. How demons warning compares to other CEOs. HPC talks earnings welcomes brochure. Bear market rallies are new norm for now strategists. Apple VR's has needs to be a hit for several reasons. Costco price is high. It's not a question of if analysts. It is like watching a plane crash. Michael Burry thinks the market has plenty of room to plunge, but he finally sees value in these four. Strong insider buying puts these three stocks in focus. Kathy Wood watch ARK buys Twilio, health-related stocks. Stock is Marathon. There's a holdings to buy as Bitcoin slumps, Starbucks, eBay, and 20 other stocks for a bear market rally. Introducing, hmm, is Cisco stock a buy or sell as July quarter guidance disappoints? Cybersecurity stocks to buy and watch as reports roll in. Two high yield dividend stocks from the best analysts on Wall Street. Nvidia is named the top semi stock at Buffer. Here's what it likes about the stock. Amazon splits its stock next week. Who's next? Why it matters. Hmm. Which bot rated dividend stocks offer most upside? Salesforce earnings offer a warning sign for cloud stocks. What Sheryl Sandberg gone from Facebook Wall Street fear its future. Billionaire Ken Griffin loads up on these three strong buy stocks. The SEC sends a warning about stocks. Reddit traders aren't happy. Hmm. JP Morgan sees an attractive entry point in these two stocks. Bear market rallies are a new norm for now, top strategists say. Top Wall Street quant sees the S&P 500 taking back all its losses by year's end. Kathy Wood watch Art piles into Nvidia buys in AI biotech. Dow Jones futures rises after market rally retreats on economic hurricane fears. Chewy's earnings don't signal the all clear for Etsy and other e-commerce stocks. We're all value investors. Here's how to play it. Should I buy this big deep? Warren Buffett has spent a third of his cash hoard, so it might be a sharp idea to start nibbling. Fed's Buller sees 3.5% rating setting up cuts in 2023 or 24. Are any airline stocks buys? After Delta sees more demand, higher cost. Meta shares Sandberg is stepping down. Fed to begin quantitative tightening. What that means for financial markets. Sienna stock plunges as second quarter earnings revenue meets estimates. GameStop stocks edged lower after wider quarter first loss. No near-term sales guidance. Pure Storage stock jumps on earnings. Demand for cloud storage continues to grow. Chipmaker Broadcom stock gets a composite rating upgrade. 5G stocks to buy and watch as wireless firms move beyond smartphones. Rivian surprisingly evolves into a value stock. Elon Musk and Tesla finally get good news in June. Facebook owner Meta platform Sheryl Sandberg to leave after 14 years. Jeremy Gratham warns the S&P 500 will likely plunge another 40% minimum. Stock market near session lows at midday. Scoring Beagle dividends is even easier than it looks. What charge point earnings say about the state of EV charging in America? How greenwashing cost CEO his job. Global growth stocks watched on IBD screen of the day include 2 oil stocks. Dividend stocks with the biggest payout ratios that perform buybacks. Okay, let's see. First one is price of Udemy. It's not that interesting. Of course, its revenue is increasing. But I cannot see upward potential at this point because it's been going down uh in the past couple of months, so looks like it's gonna go down a bit more. How Jamie Dimon hurricane warning compares to what other big time CEOs are saying. JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon saying shockwaves through markets and C-suits on Wednesday in a freewheeling interview at an investment banking conference. Speaking at a conference sponsored by AllianceBernstein Holdings, Dimon said that the U.S. economy is facing a hurricane as the Federal Reserve continues its process of normalizing interest rates. Uh, right now it's kind of sunny. Things are doing fine. Demon told the conference, everyone thinks the Fed can handle this. The hurricane is right out there down the road coming our way. We just don't know if it's a minor one or a superstorm Sandy or Andrew or something like that. And you got to brace yourself, That hurricane, is right out there, down the road coming our way. We just don't know if it's okay. Let's see. Let's see. Yahoo Finance recently spoke with a few CEOs at the World Economic Forum and on Yahoo Finance Live. Here's what they told us about their perspective on the direction of the economy. Bank of America CEO Brian Moynihan The American consumer is very strong, so that presents a challenge for the Fed. But it's also a good thing to be working against. Manya said, adding that the consumer's leverage is in great shape. Even though stimulus stopped in March of last year, the account balances of our customers at Bank of America have gone up every month since last June or July. If you think about their ability to borrow, their credit card balances are still down from $100 billion to $80 billion. That means the same customers can go back and borrow the money. They are highly credit worthy. What we are seeing today continues to be very strong demand from the commercial side, or said. As we were expecting, we saw some slowdown in consumer, but nothing that tells us it's going to be a major slowdown coming forward. Hewlett Packard Enterprise CEO Anthony Nair. I relate to the IT side of this. Hmm. Few CEOs at the World Economic Forum and on Yahoo Finance Live. Here's what they told us about their perspective on the direction of the economy. Mm. In general, people are like, America economy is very strong, and like it's not major slowdown. It's more like slow. It's not like minor slowdown. So you don't have to be like uh worry about you don't have to be like worry about what's gonna go down the road. It's gonna be good, it's gonna okay. That's what he's saying. I relate to the IT side of this narration, and I have to say demand continues to be strong around connectivity, around the AI and machine learning, about the fact that consumers want to consume as a service. Our strategy is very well aligned for that. you know. Cisco CEO Chuck Robbins, I don't want to see us talk ourselves into recession. First of all, I think people are a little too pessimistic, Robbins said. If you go back over the last several years, the challenges we have dealt with as a global society, we should have confidence. We're going to deal with whatever comes our way. Whatever happens will likely be short lived. Cloudflare CEO Matt Prince. Cloudflare is 12 years old, and we haven't had a true recession in the period. We have existed as a company, Prince said. We're probably long overdue for that. The first quarter of 2022 across the entire tech sector was one of the toughest quarters any businesses have seen since the first quarter of 2020 at the start of the pandemic. I don't think we're going to bounce back as fast as we did with COVID. For us, that is actually not a bad thing, as we provide our service in our very economical way. We tend to save businesses money, cut other vendors, and simplify things. I think there is a slowing, Ginger said. People are fighting inflation, yes. There is going to be a tightening of monetary policy as well. I think these are all natural. Clearly, we have Shanghai port shutdowns. Europe is trying to figure out what it looks like with the Ukraine situation. Uh, so I think there is a general softening and general tightening of policy. We think that is probably a couple of quarters in front of us. Czech CEO Dan Rosenweek, I think all of us would admit that we don't know what it feels like. Rosenweek said, we had the pandemic, then we had back to work. Hmm. Then we didn't have back to work. Then we have inflation and wage inflation. Then we have a war. I think anybody that is trying to predict things based on all barometers will get it wrong. I do think the consumer is going to slow down, but I just don't know by how much or for how long. I do think we're experiencing it already. Uh, I do think we're experiencing it already as costs go off and consumers they will have to spend less. I just hope it doesn't reach stagflation. Okay, in general, I see that people are not really pessimistic as I had expected. They're more like it's gonna be okay. Hmm. They all have like that kind of mind. Bear market rallies are a new norm for now, top strategists say. The new norm for the stock market after a while may, according to top strategist Lees and Saunders and Charles Schwab, may bear market rallies, large rallies followed by larger drops that keep markets in a broader decline. For now, Saunders told Yahoo Finance Live on if investors should be bracing for more bear rallies ahead. We did with the rally that we saw last week. You saw some improvement in breadth. You did some see some shorter term technical triggers suggesting that there could be lags to rally, but the kind of significant breadth trust, as they're called, we didn't quite get that. The S&P 500 index ended a 7-week losing streak last week and posted its best week since November 2020, rising by more than 6.5%, while the Dow Jones Industrial Average and Nasdaq Composite tacked on 4.2%. Hmm. Airline ticket prices reached jarring levels. Apple's VR headset needs to be a hit for itself and for the VR industry. Uh, Apple will host its annual WWDC Developers Conference live from its Cupertino, California headquarters on June 6th. While there are starting to be plenty of announcements and demos, including our first looks at iOS 16, Watch OS 9, and the latest version of macOS, the most anticipated product might not even make an appearance. Apple's virtual and augmented reality platform, reportedly dubbed Reality OS 4 Reality Operating System, the software would provide a foundation for Apple's future VR and AR plans, not to mention give developers the opportunity to start building apps for the platform. Apple has a lot riding on its VR and AR products. The platform would serve as the company's first major product launch since it debuted the Apple Watch in 2015, and entry into Silicon Valley's latest obsession, the metaverse. More importantly, though, it could finally give Apple the iPhone successor it's been chasing for years. But if the headset and its related software are flops out of the gate, it would deal a heavy blow to a broader VR industry, looking toward Apple as a catalyst to launch the technology into the mainstream. Apple's Reality OS is the next major interface. Reality OS is the next major interface. So Apple's got VR thing, and it should be a hit for itself for VR industry. Mm. Costco membership, a question of if. Analyst explains. Will Costco raise its membership fees given that it's previously done so roughly every 5 years, and we are now 5 years from the last hike? It's not a question of if, but a question of when, UBS analyst Michael Lizard said on Yahoo Finance Live. A shift back from raising its fees for 6 months is not going to have that dramatic an impact on the share price. And if anything, raising fees will provide a pool of savings that Costco can use to reinvest back into lower prices for its customers. Hmm. Costco's last membership fees increase kicked in on June 1st, 2017, when Warehouse Club took its Gold Star membership fee up $5 to $60, and executive membership fees increased by $10 to $120. Costco is an excellent retailer, said Lester, who has covered Costco for years. They have been in this strategy for a long time, so we have confidence they can continue to balance the needs of their customers, the needs of their shareholders. Hmm. Costco recently surprised a few analysts on Wall Street last week for delaying its latest increase, holding the line on its popular $1.50 hot dog offer despite inflationary pressures. Hmm. Given the current macro environment, historically high inflation, and the burden it's having on our members and all customers in general, we think increasing our membership fee today ahead of our typical timing is not the right time. Coast could see a full recharge Galatni told analysts on the company's May 26th earnings call. When we introduced the hot dog soda combo in the mid 80s, it was $1.50. The price today is $1.50, and we have no plans to increase the price at this time. Uh, it is like watching a plane crash. Mark Burr thinks the market has plenty of room to plunge, but he finally sees value in these four stocks. The hedge fund manager depicted by Christian Bale and The Big Short has been aggressively investing during this market downturn. Burry's latest 13F filing for the first quarter of 2022 shows a broad range of new investments and some interesting strategy moves with options that significant shift from the previous quarter, when Burry was selling most of his stock portfolio and calling for the mother of all crashes. He's not exactly bullish on the overall market. Here's a look at his latest moves, Facebook and Alphabet. Burr's bet on big tech is clearly noteworthy. Facebook and Alphabet, Booking.com. Travel website Booking.com is now the second largest holding Burr's Seacon asset management portfolio. He bought 8,000 shares of the company in the first quarter. Booking.com, BKNG. Mm. I'm surprised airline ticket prices reached jarring levels. Airplane ticket price increases are hitting eye-popping levels as the major airlines look to recoup higher costs for jet fuel and staffing shortages. Yes, long time. Airline analyst Headlines Backo told Yahoo Finance Live when asked if she has been surprised by the ticket price inflation. We have seen a 34% increase this year. We forecast 7% in April, May, and June, and we seem to be seeing that. Yes, I'm surprised they were able to pass that along. Then again, it comes back to very strong demand. Airline fares soared 18.6% in April, according to the latest Consumer Price Index report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Hmm. The jump, which built on March's 10.7% monthly rise in airfares, marked the largest increase since the inception of the series as a component of the Public Transportation Index, December 1963. Travel website Booking.com is now the second largest holding in Burr's Sequent asset management portfolio. He bought 80,000 shares of the company in the first quarter. Booking stock is trading at a price to free cash flow ratio of 21. That means the free cash flow yield is as high as 4.7%. As international borders reopen and lockdowns ease, Booking could be an ideal bet on the rebound of global travel. Warner Brothers Discovery. hmm, Strong insider buying puts these three stocks in focus. Applied blockchain, as its name suggests, is heavily involved in the Bitcoin mining segment. In fact, the company builds and operates the next gen data centers that power the North American Bitcoin mining industry. In the first half of this year, Applied Blockchain has made some important moves to increase its footprint in the industry. In January, the company announced a partnership with Pool Capital Asset, provider of blockchain mining solutions that will allow the two signatories to pool resources, the development of 1.5 gigawatts worth of new data center. Mm. And what else do we have? Rivian Automotive. Next up is Rivian Automotive, a company that is working to turn the emerging electric vehicle industry upside down. Every new firm in a new sector wants to be the great innovator, but Rivian is approaching the EV uh, uh, issues from a different angle, one that has potential to make a real difference. The company is designing a flexible EV chassis with electric drive system built in. Fittings are pre-installed for various battery systems to fit the needs of the end vehicle, and the chassis can be modified to feature a wide range of body types, seating arrangements. Casa Systems. Last but not least is Casa, a small cap firm in the telecom sector. Casa is a designer and maker of advanced ultra broadband solutions for the ongoing 5G rollout, providing hardware equipment for mobile, cable, fixed, and converged service providers. Are there like what? Strong insider buying. Insiders give us one of the clear signals available in the stock markets. The insiders are company officers with inside positions that give them greater access to a company plans and resources, the very facts that will impact stock prices. Governmental regulators require insiders to publish their trades in a timely manner as a way of avoiding their having an undue advantage. Retail investors can use tools like the insider's hot stocks to follow these trades. We've gotten the process started using the tool to pull up the latest data on tree stocks. The insiders have been scooping up. The buys are notable for their magnitude. These insiders are laying out six figures or more on their own firm shares. Cause to find good ideas for stocks trading, attractive valuations. hmm, Given the company scale, we do believe a range of established and emerging competitors would find the company to be of strategic interest and view this as lending support to valuations. The company undertakes the software transition and seeks to improve supply chain management and overall execution. Kathy would watch or advise to follow health related stocks. By Swallow Health Relays, Wood Flash Art Innovation ETF had lost 53% this year, as her disruptive tech company stocks have hit the skids. All valuations below or as of Tuesday's close. The San Francisco communications software company for $5.4 million. The stock has dropped 59% so far this year. Wood has said in recent months that declines in disruptive technology stocks this year have created buying opportunities. Hmm. So basically, Kathy Wood never thinks that she has lost her money. Instead, she thinks this kind of opportunity would never come, and this right now is the best timing for you to buy it. I mean, it's all the companies, the price of all the companies are all low. They're all low. Is Marathon Digital Holdings a buy as Bitcoin slumps? Marathon Digital stock has been volatile as Bitcoin adoption grows. Here's a cryptocurrency miner. Marathon Digital Holdings have been volatile as the price of hmm, Is Cisco stock a buy or sell as July quarter guidance points? Okay, here is a Cisco. Cisco is one that I'm really interested in because it's the company that we work with. I mean, all of the business, not all of business, but like one business. I attend an not conference. I attend a meeting every Thursday, and we talk about how we talk about how we can build up infrastructure inside our building. Mm, well, RTLS system. Shares in Cisco Systems posted a good run in 2021 amid the market's rotation to value. Stocks tied to the U.S. economy reopening. Amid rising interest rates and supply chain issues, Cisco stock has retreated. The outlook for Cisco stock depends on spending trends for cloud computing infrastructure as well as corporate and telecom networks. Cisco reported fiscal third quarter earnings that edged by estimates. While revenue missed Wall Street targets, management blamed weak guidance, including a surprise revenue decline in that July quarter, on China's COVID lockdown and supply chain issues. Cisco stocks jumped 41% in 2021. Uh, Cisco stocks jumped 41% in 2021 amid volatility in tech-heavy Nasdaq Composite. Cisco stock has retreated 29% in 2022. Most technology stocks retreated in 2022. The Nasdaq Composite dropped 6.8% the week before the Memorial Day weekend, snapping a 7-week losing streak. One big question is whether Cisco can gain share in the cloud titan market versus Arista Networks. On the plus side, computer networking stocks seem to be sexy again. The tech icon aims to increase recurring revenue from subscription-based software and services and shift away from its core business of selling network switched and routers. Cisco expects subscription revenue to account for 50% of total revenue in fiscal 2025, up from 44% in fiscal 2021. Using fiscal 2021 as the base year, Cisco said it expects 5% to 7% sales growth through fiscal 2025. The forecast includes acquisitions. During the coronavirus pandemic, corporate spending on data networks slowed amid increased office vacancy rates. One view is that corporate networks will be less important if remote work becomes entrenched. As a result, Cisco stock needs to hike investments in next generation enterprise networks. The company aims to help corporate customers build hybrid network architectures that utilize on-premise data centers and cloud computing infrastructure. Cisco stock transformational acquisition needed. Transformational acquisition needed. Cisco stock technical analysis. I don't need technical analysis. Hmm. Oh, I see. Cisco aims to build up its WebEx video conferencing platform versus Microsoft and Zoom video communications. It recently acquired Socio Labs to boost WebEx events. Cisco has brought in a new chief financial officer, Scott Heron, for Autodesk. The company remains one of the top U.S. tech companies in terms of cash on its balance sheet, with 4% dividend yield. Cisco stock still finds support among institutional investors. While Cisco stock provides an attractive dividend, its buyback program has slowed. Hmm. Okay, I find that Cisco is not trying to. Well, Cisco has been really popular with network gear and router device, but it plans to move forward with new kind of gaining money, which is subscription based, which is providing subscription based service. Uh, and they expect they could gain possibly much revenue in 2025. Hmm. Cybersecurity stocks to buy and watch as earnings reports rolling. You may think the time is right to move into cybersecurity stocks as geopolitical events unfold and acquisitions continue. Checkpoint software technologies. How big a lift for cybersecurity stocks? Salesforce earnings offer a warning sign for cloud stocks. The market is sharing Salesforce earnings with its shares soaring as much as 12% a day after the company reported better than expected results. But before drawing any far-reaching conclusions about the cloud software industry, investors may want to take a closer look. Salesforce's comments about its merger and acquisition strategy may have larger implications for the sector than any of its financial numbers. Hmm. Salesforce comments about its merger and acquisition strategy may have larger implications for the sector than any of its financial members. An acquisition strategy may have larger implications for the sector than any of its financial numbers. With Sheryl Sandberg gone from Facebook, Wall Street should fear its future. Okay, Sandberg ran Facebook like a business while Zuckerberg got to play with the cool toys. But now his attempt to make the metaverse happen will take place without an adult in the room. Well, when Sheryl Sandberg first joined Facebook in 2008, she was often referred to as the adult in the room that could help co-founder and chief executive Mark Zuckerberg, then just 24 years old, turn it into a company Wall Street, uh, Wall Street could trust. Nearly a decade and a half later, Sandberg announced her impending departure Wednesday after fulfilling the job description as chief operating officer. She was a key force in developing the advertising business that is now the bulk of the revenue for a company worth more than $500 billion, fostering relationships with big advertisers and small businesses as the social media powerhouse spread its tendrils around the globe. As she leaves, however, Zuckerberg and the company he has re-christened the Meta Platforms Inc. FB 1.83% are still not to be trusted. And after Facebook's boy King announced in Facebook post that he will not attempt to install an executive in a similar powerful role, Zuckerberg has been the subject of criticism for many years for the worrisome corporate structure that gives him total control of the company, as well as for Facebook's many missteps. Billionaire Ken Griffin loads up on these three strong bad stocks. Latham, we'll start with a stock closely linked to a consumer discretionary spending. Integral Ad Science. Next up, Integral Ad Science is digital media and advertising tech firm specializing in the analysis of digital marketing, ensuring that ads and media are properly targeted for effective context and viewing by real people. Integral evaluates ad placement quality, addresses issues of brand risk, fraud, and viewability to gain the strongest results. Integral Ad Science Latham Group, the first one we have is Latham Integral at IAD Service. Agilent Health. Last on our list of Griffin buys is Agilent, a healthcare company that aims to improve the delivery structure of the modern healthcare system. Agilent works with primary care physicians, offering an operating platform that facilitates a holistic view of patient's condition and allows doctors to network with each other with great efficiency. JP Morgan sees an attractive entry point in these two stocks. Penumbra: stroke erosion and embolisms are dangerous conditions with a common denominator: damage or blockage of the vascular system. Rocket Pharmaceuticals, from a medical device, will move on to the cutting edge of biopharma tech. Chewy's earnings don't signal the all clear for ads and other e-commerce stocks. E-commerce stocks were rising Thursday, bolstered by Chewy's better than expected earnings and guidance. Chewy reported a profit of 4 cents a share on sales of $2.43 billion, topping forecasts. More importantly, management maintained its financial projections for the year, encouraging investors that there is still hope ahead for e-commerce stocks, even amid a challenging macroeconomic environment. We're all value investors now. Here's how to play it. Rumors of the death of value investing, fueled by the spectacular outperformance of growth stocks during the recent bull market, have proved to be premature. Since the lows of March 2020, the performance of the S&P 500 value index is now almost identical to that of its growth index counterpart. One might say that the value stock tortoise has caught the growth stock here, and it will be equally premature to give up on growth stocks altogether. This year's sell-off has resulted in various growth names trading at attractive. Hmm. Should I buy this big deep? Warren Buffett has spent a third of his cash hoard, so it might be a sharp idea to start nibbling. Activision Blizzard. Buffett made a small bet on game developer Activision Blizzard earlier this year. However, when it was announced that the company was being acquired by Microsoft, he quadrupled his stake. He now owns 9.5% of the game maker's outstanding shares, Blizzard. In a meeting with Berkshire Hathaway shareholders, Buffett claimed this was now part of a merger arbitrage strategy. Microsoft has offered to pay $95 per share for the company. However, Activision shares trade at more than $78 in Nasdaq stock exchange. If the deal was Marcus closes at planned, hmm, Floor and Deco. Warren Buffett is back in his element after sitting on a growing cash pile for years. Buffett is finally opening up his wallet. The Oracle of Omaha deployed $51 billion in the first 3 months of this year. That's roughly one third of the cash pile his company, Berkshire Hathaway, had at the end of 2021. Here are all the stocks he added to the portfolio in the first quarter of 2022. If you are looking to buy the deep, these ideas might be a good place to start. Hmm. Floor and Deco, Chevron, Georgia-based retailer Floor & Decor has a favorable position in the floor and the shade. The stock trades at 30 times the earnings and has relatively robust margins. It fits in perfectly with the Berkshire Hathaway portfolio of home services and specialty retail, including RH and Nebraska Furniture Marts, Chevron. Buffett's balance energy is particularly noteworthy. The price of oil and gas has skyrocketed over the past year. It's driven by a combination of rebounding demand and a limited supply. The supply crunch is further exacerbated by sanctions in Russia, a key oil producing nation, due to the country's invasion of Ukraine. This is a tailwind for companies like Chevron. The company produces 2% of global oil every year and also plays a key role in other parts of the energy supply chain. Mm. Occidental Petroleum benefits from the same tailwinds as Chevron, Apple. Fed to begin quantitative tightening. What that means for financial markets. Fed stocks to buy and watch as wireless firms move beyond smartphones. Hmm. Aside from Qualcomm and Qorvo, other companies that make chips built into the smartphones include Marvell Technologies, Skyworks Solutions, Cirrus Logic, and Analog Devices. Best 5G stocks multi-year boom for chip makers. Qorvo. Smartphones currently drive most demand for 5G chips. Smartphone chipmaker Qorvo, on its fourth quarter earnings call, noted that 5G growth in China has rested lower. Rivian surprisingly evolving to a value stock. Uh, a big surprise showed up on my double net value search, self-designed screen I've used for many years that identifies companies trading between 1 and 2 times net current asset value, or NCAV. In terms of market cap, the company in question is the largest the screen has identified in years. Rivian Automotive. What charge point earnings say about the state of EV charging in America? The electric vehicle charging equipment company ChargePoint Holdings reported much better sales than expected for its latest quarter, but supply chain issues and inflation are weighing on the shares. The supply chain issues are hopefully short term in nature. Longer term, CEO Pascal Roman sees a lot more demand for EV charging coming down the pike. Blink Charging stock looks to settle down here. Electric vehicle charging network Blink Charging stock has fallen 37% during the 2022 bear market. Okay, I was about to read the rest of articles, but then time is up, so I'll come back here tomorrow night. Okay, I'll see you guys and hope that you have a good holiday night. Not holiday night, but good Thursday night. Okay, bye bye.